On one of the previous videos, I showed you how to do a badge using the badge function on the Stellaire machine, which I'm on again today. So, a quick recap. I'll use a Disney design just because it's here and it's quick. Right, there you go. Set it. This is just a quick recap. Edit. That's your badge function there. Press that. Then you've got your applique thing round it. What you do need to remember to do with that one, like I've said before, is push it forward and push it back, because when you go into the embroidery, you don't want to be embroidering your bare first. So what you need to do is go into the plus and minus at the bottom of the machine, so the Stellaire XV Luminaire, and then you need to push it. Let's get this wrong, which way to go. So you need to go back. So that is where you need to be at there to do it. So that is one way of making a badge or even a hanging or ever applique with the Stellaire Luminaire XV. Anything with a design centre on. If you haven't got a design centre, you can still do badges. Obviously they can't be shaped around the thing. Most machines have got these designs in. Can you see these here? Yep. So in the Stellaire one, we've got circles, squares, all different ones. So let's go on to let's have a look. Satin Stitch circle. Yep. So set that. Then you want to make it into a applique. So let's go back a minute. Do it properly. So back into that. So you want the circle again, but you just want it one line. Is that the one? Yes. Right. So that's going to be a stitch onto stabilizer. Set that. Then add. So you want to do another one. So you can either add it like I've just done, by pressing add, or you could go into edit and then press your little squares there to make it again. Can you see that's going to copy it straight away? So that's going to be a second. So with the embroidery, you've got your set down stitch, that's that one, onto your stabilizer. Then you need something to put your fabric on. So your fabric goes on then, and then you need a tack down stitch. So you need to do another one like we've done. So move that, centre it, so that's 2. Okay, and then go into your add. If you want it satin stitch, go into your satin stitch one, set. So now you've got your satin stitch. Can you see? If you wanted to do a back on it, what you needed to do is to add another one of those on the third set down, on the third time, before you do your satin. Always think of how your thing is going to how you build up your design. So for instance, for that one, I've used the set down stitch, the trim stitch, and then I've put the trim stitch on again for the back, so I could trim the back off, and then I've done the satin. So what you'd need to do is edit again, do another one, so you've got 3, and then obviously then you need to move them all into the middle. See? So now you've got 3. Then okay, add your satin. So now you've got 4 designs, 4 things. So again, remember how you're going to build it up. Onto your stabilizer. The next one then is where you're going to trim your fabric. The next one then is where you're going to put your fabric at the bottom of your hoop, underneath your hoop. By that I mean put your back on. So you've done your first one, you put your fabric on, you've trimmed around it. The third step is tape or spray your fabric underneath, and then it's that third step. So it's going to do that then. Trim it, sew around it, then you're going to trim it. Then the last step will be the satin stitch. So again, make sure that they all are in the centre. So literally, they've all got to be directly, otherwise obviously it's not going to work. If you want to shrink it, you can do, but obviously make sure you select it all and then shrink them down to whatever size you want. So obviously at this stage again, if you wanted to add embroidery and that, you've got to remember where you want to add your embroidery. So let's go back. So obviously your embroidery wants to be added before you put your back on. So if you're going to put embroidery on it, it wants to be added on that stage. When you've trimmed your fabric down, you need to add and put your whatever you're going to put on in middle, to save you messing about plussing and minusing. I hope you can follow that. Let me have some feedback on it and I'll do a proper video working and stitching it out. So if you give me some feedback, if it does make sense, because it's very difficult to explain unless you're doing it, but I just thought I'd just show you a little quick way of getting there in case you want to make some hangings, etc. for your Christmas tree. Okie dokie.